All right, class, welcome back to English 1301. Let's talk about the review essays and what's happening in the days ahead. I hope you and your family are both safe and well. Excuse me. Now, the first thing I want to talk about today is the drop date. All right, so the drop date for the class is November 12th. Okay, so here's the way it works at the college level. Um, if you drop the class before November 12th, you will be able to take a W in your class. Now, a W does not affect your grade point average for the college. And W's are part occasionally of the college experience. So it simply means that you'll take a withdrawal from the class and you'll get no grade point average. Class, this has happened to me. Happened to me in college sometimes. My junior year at the university, my father died, and I had to take a W in some classes because I needed to take care of the family. I needed to get my father buried. And then the next semester, to honor my father, this was a long time ago when I was an undergraduate, I was back in the game. All right. So always remember that about college is if you have a bad semester, there's always next semester. Now, say, for example, that you're in my class after November 12th and you haven't dropped, then I am forced by the college at the end of the semester to give you a grade. So if your average is an F, you will receive an F. Okay? And so this is where it's a lot different than high school. You will receive the grades that you've earned and the final grade that you've earned. So be thinking about this. Let me give you an example. Say you did not do a memoir portfolio this semester, okay? Drop the class. If you did not do one of our major projects this semester, I would drop the class because there's going to be no way to pass, all right? That's just a helpful suggestion. And then you'll have the opportunity to take English 1301 a semester in the future where you're going to stay on track from the very beginning. Now, I don't judge any situation like this. I'm just trying to help you. If you didn't do a major profile portfolio, I would suggest you drop the class because you're not going to pass. All right? This class is intense. English is intense at the college level. You've got to do the work and you've got to take care of business. Okay? And don't beat yourself up because sometimes, we're in a pandemic. There are challenges. So if that's the situation, I'm just trying to help you because otherwise I'll have to give you a grade at the end of the semester. So this is the heads up for right now. Okay? So take care of yourself at the college level. Okay, now another thing. I've graded 2 portfolios. Okay, there's one class. I've been grading 7 days a week since work came in this semester, and I'm still doing it. There's one class that I'll be in the process. I'll be within the 2-week deadline for getting those essays back to my last class because I'm going to start those tonight. Okay? So you know what your grade is for the class. You know what your grades are. Okay? The profiles are long done. I've gotten you those grades back. If you didn't get a grade, it's because you didn't do the work. Or what's happened in just a few cases is I've asked students to make adjustments to portfolios and they haven't done that. Okay? As you've known since the beginning of the semester, I will only grade a portfolio if it's a complete portfolio. First draft, excuse me, a second final draft formatted with the MLA situation of what a college level essay should look like. I've given you that example. It's in Blackboard handouts. You know what it looks like. That's how your essay has to look. First draft, final draft formatted correctly, spacing, typefaces, etc. And then once again, the Writing Center verification. Simple. 3 items for each essay. Each essay is 700 to 1,000 words long. Okay? And then I grade them. So say, for example, and it's only happened a couple times, I'll ask a student to make an adjustment because the spacing's all out of whack, or the essay doesn't look right, or in the final draft, say, for example, they didn't even give me a title, I'll kick that back to a student. Student makes that adjustment, and then I'll grade it. Okay? It's happened once this semester. I had a student who keeps saying that they went to the Writing Center, but they don't show me any verification of it. Or they say they did, and they say, I've attached the verification. I pull up the verification, it's not there. Or they gave me feedback, it's not there. All right, so I don't judge a student like that. I just write them back immediately, or when I get back to that student, I said, you know what, it's not here, send again, send again, send it. I'm not going to grade their work until a student's work, until their portfolios are complete. It's as simple as that. I can't, because that means I would be cheating other students. First draft, final draft, Writing Center verification. It's simple. Once I everything, then I grade the portfolio, and I take it from there. And I help students by letting them know what they need to adjust in case they made errors, and I don't take off points, because I want students to, once again, give me their best work. So that's how I help students. So you know your grades. You have a memoir portfolio grade, you have a profile portfolio grade. You know your grades. If you're making adjustments, that's fine. If I haven't gotten to your graded portfolios yet of your profile, it means I'm still working on it. But once I do, with every student, I write you and I let you know what's up. All right? Plus, class, I keep detailed notes on every single student. Every time you write to me, I note it. Every time I reply to a student, I note it. Every time I ask a student to do something, I note it. Every single move I make with a student, and every time a student makes a move with me, I note it. So I've got detailed notes. If something falls through the cracks, which can happen in online classes, you write to me, you say, what's up, Mr. Welsh? Blah, blah, blah. I sent this in. Once again, then I get in dialogue with you, and I'm here to help. I'm here to help. And I'll go back, because occasionally things fall through. But so far, I've read a lot of good work this semester. A lot of good work. Grades of A- to F. Okay. Class, another thing, I've had a couple students who write these long essays. They're 700,000 words. I had a student that told me, she told me, Mr. Welsh, my essay can only be 2,000 words. I'm like, great, I'm not going to grade it. I got a lot of students. I made my living for years as a newspaper reporter and an editor, okay? We not only write, we edit. You got to learn how to edit your work, 700,000 words. I wasn't mean to her. I just kicked it back to her and said, listen, 702,000 words. I'm not reading a 2,000 word essay. And then she said, Mr. Welsh, I'm such a good writer that I have to go 2,000 words. All right, I'm kind. I said, you let me be the judge of that. Because I graded that essay and it was a D essay. A lot of errors. A lot of errors with basic punctuation. A lot of errors with basic grammar. If I don't point it out, nobody will point it out. D essay. All right? She's sending in about 900 words. I'm here to help. So, it's nice that she thought that she's a great writer, maybe in high school when no one was grading her papers. I don't know what happened in high school. I have to help. So good, class. That's where we are. Think of the drop date. Think where you are in regards to the class. Don't beat yourself up. Be kind to yourself. And if this is not the semester for English 1301, if you don't feel like you've done what you needed to do, drop the class because you're not going to pass. And then, you take it again another semester. I've been doing this for a long time, class. I've seen students take this class. Once again, first time, they're not into it. They don't do the work. Their head isn't in it. I see them a year later. They want to take me again. Brand new student. Killing it. I had another student this semester saying, Mr. Welsh, I'm on academic probation. They're about to kick me out of the college. Will you please write a letter to my counselor? So I said, all I can do is check the records. Went and checked his memoir grade, A-. Went and checked his profile grade, B+. There's a student who's turned it around. I wrote those letters. Please keep this student in college. Something has happened. He's not on probation in my class. Class, that's where we are. Once again, you know what you need to do. Be thinking about that. Class, let's move on. The deadlines for the review essay. Class, if you're in sections, excuse me, if you're in section, got a hard copy on everything, all my notes that I keep on each student's in hard copy. If you're in section 11924 and 11941 on the course policies and calendar, I've already mentioned this to you in announcements, class. You're going to turn in the review on the 5th of November. When you turn it in, first draft, final draft, writing center verification, November 5th. That is for those two sections, 11924 and 11941. Very good, and I look forward to grading these essays. Class, I've read some good work this semester. Grades of A- to F. Class, for sections 12699, 11944, and 12092, the review essay is due on the 9th of November. 11-9, 9th of November, to get those into me. All right? So we know the deadlines. We know what we're up against. Get those to the writing center when you have them done. Get them to me. I'm here to help. As you know, this semester I've helped a lot of students, and I'm here to treat everybody exactly the same. All right? So everyone gets treated fairly. Class, let's do this. What are you going to write for a profile? Where are my journals? Class. So there's a lot that you could do for this assignment on page 408 of our sets of handouts. You've received all the handouts for this essay, so you know what's going on. I'm here to illuminate this material for you. You know what's going on from doing the homework, and I'm here to illuminate it. Page 408 in the homework. So, for this assignment, write a review. That's what this is a review essay, class. It says pick something to review that you know well or that you find interesting or you would like to know more about. You'll write this review thinking that it's like a review that you would write for maybe the college newspaper or maybe a friend, all right? Or certainly for me. And it says the subject of your review can be drawn from many spheres of life. Here are some of the common types of reviews that you can do for me. Now remember, class, you have to do it specifically for this assignment, okay? Say that you went into a musical concert a year ago. Can't do it because when you went, you weren't doing it for an assignment. This has to be done. This footwork has to be done for this assignment. So, number one, could you attend a musical concert? Yes, class. I know we're in a pandemic. You could stream it over your computer or your TV, somewhere where hopefully you get some decent, images and size. But you could write for me a concert review. Watch a concert. Take notes about that concert throughout. Once again, what's going down? That's where it all comes down. Is you'll be taking notes, class. Notes. That's what you're going to be doing through the whole thing. Because once again, you'll be thinking, man, I got to write a review of this. I got to write a review. So I better be taking notes, class. You could do a concert. So watch a concert, any concert. I don't care what it is, class. But you're going to be taking notes about that concert. And as it talked about in our homework, you'll need to say, for example, judge that concert. Every review, class, will be 4 or 5 standards by which you're going to judge your thing. So say you would do a concert. Let me tell you how these reviews are done. They're simple, but they take work. Open it up. Give us opening paragraph. Give us some background information about what you're going to review, some historical stuff. Let us know what you're going to review. Then, at the end of that opening paragraph, you tell us in the thesis statement whether this thing was good or bad, or a combination of both. And I'll look at that thesis statement once again. Because you want to let the reader know your take, not someone else's take. I don't want these plagiarized. No Rolling Stone. No People Magazine. No online blog reviews. This all comes from you. No Maximum Rock and Roll. No New York Times. No Los Angeles Times. No Dallas Morning News. No El Paso Times. No Boston Herald. This is all no Variety. Okay? No Hollywood Reporter. No People Magazine. This all comes from you. Open it up. Give us some background information, thesis statement. Then transition to just 3 or 4 ways on which you can justify your review. Musical concert, boom, number 1. Talk about the performance. You talk about the band. Were they on? Were they off? Giving us details. Number 2, sound quality. You can talk about the sound of the event. Once again, how was the mix of the music? How was the mix? Number 3, go in depth about the songs. Once again, the performance. Was the band on? Was the band off? Details. Okay? Then a conclusion. 700,000 words. Each body paragraph taking care of one of the standards by which you're going to judge it. Right? So you could do a musical concert. You could go to a play. Same thing. Play. What standards? Plot. Costuming. Set design. Were the actors good or not? Conclusion, you're done. Right? Opening paragraph, thesis statement. Transition. Conclusion. You could do a musical concert, you could do a play, you could do any sort of performance class. Number 2 here on 408, it says that you could do a media. So you could do a television review of a television program. Sit down, take notes while you're watching it. I had a student yesterday in class said, Mr. Wells, there's a new Netflix series that I kind of like, but I don't like, but I kind of like, called You. Could I do that? I said, yeah. Just stream 1 or 2 of the episodes, take notes, and write me a review. I've seen You. My son likes it. 17. My wife likes it. I don't like it. But that's all right. It don't make any difference what I like or don't like. I could tell you why I don't like it, but a lot of people like it, including my son and my wife. All right? It doesn't make any difference what I like or don't like. I just want to read a review. Class. Do a television program. Could you do a radio show? Yes, class. Sit down with your radio in the car, at home, AM, FM, satellite radio, streaming radio. Sit down for an hour and listen to a radio program and let me know. I want to know about it, whether it's good or not good. Could be a morning drive show. Could be one of the stations on satellite radio, which a couple years ago I got in my car. Now I'm addicted to it. I can't let go of satellite radio. It's costing me, but I like it. I don't know, what are there, 1,000 stations on there? Pick a station, listen to it. Pick an AM station. Class, this is a good thing. It could be a Spanish station. If you want to do a Spanish station or Rock en Español, or, sit down with your AM radio and listen to La Poderosa or La Rancherita, which I still listen to, or Orbita on FM, all Spanish. Class, that's where you'll have advantage of me. I listen to those stations and I like them. I wouldn't be comfortable writing a review because my Spanish isn't good enough, but that's where I learn. Este mucho trabajar en español. Yo. That's where I get to work on my Spanish. But if you write the essay, you have to write it in English, in Inglés, for me. Because I can't grade a Spanish essay. But yeah, you could do anything. You could do anything, any of the Spanish stations. I love it. Class, could you do a movie review? Yes. Sit down, watch a movie, write a review. Opening. Thesis statement. Acting. Plot. Costuming. Cinematography. Soundtrack. Conclusion. 702,000 words. Specific details. Class, you could do a musical recording. Could be something new, could be something old. I had a student last year who had liked Eazy-E. He said, Mr. Welsh, could I do Eazy-E's last album before he died tragically young of AIDS? I said, yeah, the rapper Eazy-E, sure you could do it. Class. Old album, new album. A couple years ago, I had a young woman say, Mr. Welsh, how about doing Morrison? Could I do Morrison Hotel by the Doors? I said, I believe that record was released in 1970. She said, I know. I said, yes, I know too. I recently got a vinyl copy of it because some of the hipsters are listening to vinyl again. I said, all right. Can I write a review? Yes. But I don't want to read a review from some reviewer from Rolling Stone or Newsweek or Time or the Los Angeles Times or Billboard from years ago. I want to hear from her. I want to hear from you in your own language. Don't plagiarize these. I've had students fail out of classes doing that. So class, yeah, or you could do a review of a website. Sit down with the website. Think of the criteria you want to use. Let me know if it's a good website. Content, graphics, etc. 702,000 words. Class, could you do a local museum? Yes. Could you do an art exhibit? Yes. Could you do a history museum? Yes. I know we're in the pandemic. Some of these things you can get out to, and some of these things you can also do online. Class, could you do a book review? It says here. Yes. Old book? Yes. New book? Yes. Maybe something that is old but's popular right now with college students. That's a work of maybe literary art or excellence. When I was in college, at the community college, long time ago. A bunch of people were passing around and reading the existentialist novel, thin novel, by the French philosopher and writer Camus. It was called The Stranger. I read it then and it changed my life somewhat. Thin novel, Camus. I read it in English. It was written in French, and I got a good translation. You could do that. Class, could you do a sporting event? It says here, write a preview of an upcoming game. No. But I'll let you attend a game or watch a game on TV and let me know how good of a game it is. And you get inside with what you know. World Series is on. Class football's on. Basketball's on. You could do that. You could do, stream a boxing match. I'd love to read a good review of a fight. Class, I like the fights. The good thing about the ring is you get inside it. Usually one's going to win and one's going to lose unless the judges are on the tape. Or it gets scored in some way that, you don't think's quite right. But a lot of big fights recently I've seen, the scores have been justified. Class, a lot of boxing journalism out there. Where did I just leave it? I think it's over here. Hold on a second. No, I have it in another room. Oh, I didn't want to fall. I was just going to say, I just bought the new issue of the Ring magazine, the Bible of Boxing. I have an Esquire over here. But, some good writing in the Ring magazine. Leisure and entertainment class. Here's one that a lot of students do and you could do for me. Write a restaurant review. Go to a restaurant. It's got to be a sit-down restaurant. Class, you don't have to be fancy about it or anything. Roll up a couple of pieces of paper in your pocket. Or take in a journal. You don't have to let anyone know. As soon as you get in, notes. And once again, in a restaurant review, what's going to be the criteria? What are you going to judge it on, class? You're going to judge it on, you write your notes. Once again, you get it while it's hot. You're going to write restaurant review, introduction, thesis statement, next body paragraph, food. Tell us about the food. Take it apart. Give us details on how good it is. Boom. Next paragraph, service. Details about service. Next paragraph, environment, cleanliness. Next paragraph, you may go to the restroom and take a look at the restaurant and see how clean that is. The whole ambiance of the place. Conclusion, boom, you're done. 700 to 1,000 words. Do a restaurant review for me, class. But you have to do it for this essay. You got to sit down. You have to eat. I had a student the other day in class said, Mr. Welsh, I want to do a restaurant. Yesterday in class for my hybrid classes, I want to go to this restaurant in Juarez. I said, cool. I said, which one? In class, he said, Corralito. I said, I know there are ones also in El Paso. I've been to two of them. I've been to the one on Doniphan on the west side. I've also been to the one near Utah, Corralito. He said, but it's different. Corralito is different in Juarez. I said, you write the review, I'll read it and grade it. I look forward to it. I want to know what's different. I've had some pretty good steaks there. Class, you could do that. Could you review a park? Yes. Could you do a backpacking route? Yes. Class, some other things on here I want to talk about in this handout that are no's. Education review, no. I don't want you doing it. Letters of recommendation, no. Don't want you to do it. Politics in the public sphere, no. I don't want you to do it. Rating systems, no. Don't want you to do it. Greatest or best list, no. I don't want you to do it. Paired reviews, no. I don't want you to do it. But everything else gets a yes. Plus, I'll give you some extra things that you could review for me. Class, you could review. I had a student about a year ago, and she was a good writer, class. The thing is she wrote me a very excellent memoir and a profile. And I'm saying she was a good writer, but class, once again, who knows where you're going to be or what you're going to do. Maybe you're right now not at a place where you feel that your writing is where you want it to be, or maybe you're struggling. That's all right, class. It's one of my themes this semester. So, once again, what are you going to do? You're going to work and continue to work to become you and no one else. Because I don't want you to be like this girl, this young woman I'm telling you is a good writer. I'm glad. I was happy to read her work. I helped her. I edited her papers and graded them. She came to me and said, Mr. Welsh, this is back before the coronavirus. Mr. Welsh, can I review a new lipstick that has just come out on the market? It's called Moonrise Over Detroit. Can I review it? I said, oh, yes. Get in there and let me know about that lipstick. Last semester, I had a student, a young man, said, Mr. Welsh, I want to do and he didn't have to have it approved ahead of time. You don't have to have it approved ahead of time. He said, Mr. Welsh, I want to do a new hair product for men. It's a pomade made out of this new material. It's like a brilliantine pomade. Mr. Welsh, could I review it? I said, do you know a thing or two about hair products? He said, yes. I said, write that review. It's a beautiful review. Class, I had one time a student, he said, and I like this student a lot. This was years ago. We were in class. He said, and he was a student who was turning his life around. He's 27. I'll never forget him. He grew up in El Paso in a neighborhood called the Devil's Triangle in northeast El Paso. My two kids were born, my two children, who are not children anymore, but they were born about 3 minutes away from the Devil's Triangle in northeast El Paso. In Espanol, este el diablo triangular. El Diablo Triangular, the Devil's Triangle in northeast El Paso. So he grew up there, and then he got in trouble, and he went to the penitentiary. And then he did his time for the state of Texas in the TDC. I think he was in Huntsville, because he got in some trouble, and then he came out. He was smart. He said, Mr. Welsh, I'm revolutionizing my life through education. I said, listen, I'm here to help. I'm here. If you want it, I want it. And he wrote me a memoir that was outrageously good. And his profile was outrageously good. I said, I'm here. Later on, I wrote him a letter of recommendation to get him into UT Austin, and we got him there, class. I wrote the letter of recommendation. He did the work in my class. So he said, Mr. Welsh, I want to do a compare and contrast, which you don't have to do, of two different malt liquors. He goes, I want to do the Old English 800 charcoal filtered malt liquor, a review of it. And then I want to compare and contrast it with the Mickey's Big Mouth malt liquor. Oh, I said, that's a tough essay to write. He goes, I think I can do it. I said, I think you can do it too. He said, do you know of those things, Mr. Welsh? I said, I'm from South Central Los Angeles. I grew up there. I lived there for 20 years and 34 years in Los Angeles. Hell yes, I know what the Old English 800 malt liquor is. And I know what the Mickey's Big Mouth malt liquor is, maybe too well. So I know what you're talking about. Even though I haven't drank in a long, long, long time. Write me the out essay. But I said, I told him this. I said, under one caveat. He said, what is it, Mr. Wells? I said, that night, you don't go anywhere. You sit down and you do it at home, because I know enough about your story that I don't want you driving out after drinking those 2 quarts, and I don't want you going back to the penitentiary, because you don't belong in the penitentiary. You've got talent as a writer, and you've got talent as a young man. Do not go out that night. Now, I'm not your father, but that's the last thing I want you to get into a car with 64 ounces of malt liquor in your system and drive. Okay, Mr. Wells. He wrote me a great review. So those are things you can do. Go on and do it, class. Get that review done for me. Let's get through the semester as best as we can. And I'll keep up the dialogue with you. Class, I'm always dialogue with students. You know what your grades are. Oh, and then by the drop date, I will put your grades, because you know what they are, because I've given them to you. But then by that time, certainly, I'll put out a memo on the drop date. I'll get those grades officially in the Blackboard grades, even though you know what your grades are. And we'll have that all figured out, okay, by then. And I'll send you a memo out. Plenty of time talking about all the ins and outs of the drop-in this semester. Okay? Only if you need to, class. Like I said, I've read a lot of good work this semester. A lot of students doing a lot of good work. Now, I think that's close to it. So, let's keep working ahead. So that's it. That's the review. That's the review on what you need to do. Write it. Sit down. Take plenty of notes. Get it to the writing center. Send me a first draft, a final draft, writing center verification. In class, for this essay now, we're this far in the semester, when you send me this through Blackboard messages, label it first draft, final draft, writing center verification. One at a time. It doesn't have to be in a zip file. If you put it in a zip file too, that's all right. I'll dig through there and I dig this stuff out and find it. But label it that way. And go back again before you send it in and review the correct essay formatting. I had a couple students today, I was grading profiles. Class, student didn't give me a title for their profile. I'm not going to take off points. I'm going to help that student. I'll kick it back. Give me a title. And then I'll grade it. Make sure your title's underlined. Then I'll grade it. Class, I had a student writing me an essay. The name of the essay was Johnny Dunn. I'm looking at it and I'm like, you know what? I could take off points for that, but I don't want to. That is not a title for an essay. That is a name of someone. Johnny Dunn is not a title. Now, Johnny Dunn, a trip with a desperado to hell, that's a title. So student kick it back, then once again I'll look at it and I'll grade it. But I'm trying to help, not to hurt. And then look at your format and go over that. Because when you leave me, class, I want you to have this stuff down. When you leave me. When you go on in your college career. When you go on to your next English classes. My job is to clean you up a little bit. And to help you. Can I give you the entire language? No. Can I guide you and help you? Yes. Can I be of inspiration? Yes. Can I carry a message of hope? Yes. Do I carry a message of hope? Yes. What do I want for you? The best things. Class. You know, it's a strange, wonderful life. I just want the best things for you. If you want this, you got to want it. If you want it, I want it for you. If you want it, you'll do the work. If you want it, there'll be no excuses. Excuses end. when we get to college. Read a lot of good work this semester. A lot of good work done at the community college class. A lot of good work being done at the community college. I read a good essay today of a student who interviewed a friend from Juarez, who's still living there. And was a nice profile of the education system in Mexico. A little different than here, man. Students having some challenges in the Mexican education system, but it'd be all right. It's a different situation. That's why a lot of students want to go to school in America. But it was a profile of a student struggling and overcoming struggle. That's what we do. That's what we do. We stay in the game. We struggle. All of us struggle. How hard? Some of us harder than others. For me, struggled a lot in my life. Worked my ass off in my life. I'm still working my ass off. I'm still struggling. But life is good. Living the dream. El Paso Community College is a place of hope. And it's a place of grace. So, class, very good. So get that to me, okay? And then we'll keep moving through the semester and we'll keep taking it one day at a time. Class, with that said, I'll leave you today with what they usually do in Ireland. The home of my ancestors, the home of my mother. Well, they'll tell a person, good luck, good luck, good luck. Okay, and I really believe that. I'm wishing you well. I'm wishing during this time still of, some challenges with the pandemic, the coronavirus. I'm wishing your family well. I'm wishing you well. And you know what? I'll see you on the next video. Take care, class. Good luck.